all with the dispute between the Yemeni government and Houthi militias over details that led to the cancellation of the first scheduled flight to Sana'a International Airport. Can we say that was a real blow to the Yemen Truce?
Well, we have to separate between the confidence building measures and the actual truce, the actual ceasefire. So the Houthis, as part of the confidence building measures, demanded and lifting of the restrictions on Hodeidah seaport and the Red Sea, and the start of flights out of Sana'a. So these are details that should contribute to a sustainable ceasefire. But as your report pointed out, the Houthis on the battlefield are the ones violating the accord, the agreement. The flights into and out of Sana'a were sort of olive branches from the government, but the PLC and the coalition, and they're definitely obstacles. But the main violations, the main point that we need to focus on is what's going on across battlefronts in Marib, Adalah, Taiz, and Hodeidah, as you pointed out.
Now the Houthi militias have been violating the truce on ground since day one of announcement, either in Marib or in the West Coast, and more than 2,000 field breaches have been confirmed so far. Don't you think the Houthis make use of the truce as a respite to start another round of escalation?
Yes, from day one, the government, Foreign Minister Ahmed bin Mubarak pointed out how intelligence showed Houthi troops moving equipment and personnel across southern Marib, for example. We also see the movement of troops in Hajjah, in areas of Hajjah. So definitely, as your report pointed out, we see the similarities from 2018 when then UN envoy Martin Griffiths hosted the talks in Stockholm, Sweden. During this period, the Houthis used that ceasefire, let's say, to mobilize and redeploy troops that then later on facilitated a tremendous advance, territorial gains from eastern Sada to Al-Jawf and into Marib, where they are today.
Last point, if you may, are you personally optimistic that the truce is going to hold, especially when there is no clear monitoring mechanism to ensure that warring parties stick to the truce?
That is the sticker. That is the stickler there. The monitoring, the lack of monitors, this ceasefire that was called for by the UN envoy and supported by the coalition and the GCC lacked that aspect, as did the ceasefire in 2018. There are no monitoring mechanisms, and what we've seen over the last week in particular is Houthis trying to leverage their gains and their movement through public campaigns that are mainly targeting anti-war activists in the West to paint a negative image of the government now under Dr. Rashad al-Alimi. But when we know on the ground, it's the Houthis themselves that are violating. So there is more needed. This is supposed to be a 2-month-long ceasefire that the UN envoy called for. There is a lot more to be seen. As your report called, one of the main issues, the main obstacles getting in the way of these flights from Sana'a are the documents for the travelers. The Houthis were requested, as far as I understand from the government, they were required to submit a passenger manifest with a list of names of passengers that would be leaving Sana'a. And that is one of the main things, was the passport, that every passenger had to have a valid passport. And as you pointed out, since 2017, the Yemeni government has declared any passport issued in Sana'a as not valid. It would be illegal for Yemenia to transport individuals without valid documentation into another country like Jordan, where that would cause tremendous problems upon landing in Amman for the Yemeni government, not for the Jordanian government, not just for Yemen.
But do you think there is a chance to actually stop them from their violations, especially that they recently they had violations in Marib, and they canceled the flights in Sana'a recently? So do you think they could actually be stopped from these violations?
If we look at Houthi behavior over the last 7 years of the war, we can expect the Houthis to hit back pretty soon. We can expect the Houthis to react in a negative way to this particular confidence building measure that has not been fulfilled at the moment. We hope that there is a flight out of Sana'a soon this week. But what we expect from Houthi tactics, they have to show something different. What we can expect is definitely escalation in Madib at least, because we know that they've lost a lot of ground in Madib. We know that they continue to aim at taking control of the city of Madib because they need the government to lose their last foothold in the north, and they need that flow of oil, unobstructed flow of oil, as they call it, because of their profits. That is one of the things. They are looking, the flow of oil from Hodeidah and the flow of oil from the east and Madib is all about Houthi.
Fernando, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.